So I'm going to start out with Tim, and he's going to just talk a little bit about his experience as an architect, which oftentimes brings all the different pieces together when someone comes to him and they have questions about what they want and what their preferences are. And it runs the gamut all the way through to cost and material selection. So Tim, why don't you talk to the group a little bit?
Okay, thank you. Again, my name is Tim Gallagher. I'm an architect out of Latham, New York. I'm owner of a small firm that does both residential and commercial projects. We do by percentage or greater amount of residential work, which includes additions, alterations to homes, adaptive renovation to historic homes, custom homes, condos, apartments, things like that. Green buildings kind of become a passion of mine because I see it as a growing industry. It's interesting because just in one of our previous meetings with our in-house group here, we began even discussing the terminology of the word green. Is it still has kind of a trend or a connotation as being a little bit of a trend type of thing, whereas I think we feel this is becoming much more mainstream. And I think that's going to be a little bit of the premise of our discussion today, that this is going from just being kind of on the fringes to something that we're working through actively, whether it be in the design and planning process and product and material and selection, and obviously all the way through all the components of building. When I have clients come to me, there are more and more that are interested in some aspects of green. There are a few purists, as I call them, meaning someone who comes in and says, I want everything to do with my house, whether it's new or being added on to be green, but they have a lot of interest in a lot of the different categories. One of the things that I start with often is trying to make sure that we're all on the same page with the definition of what they're looking for. So if you literally say, what does green mean to you? What does it mean to me? We really want to get down to the nuts and bolts of what are you looking to achieve? What kind of value are you looking out of it? Are you trying to highlight building performance? Are you interested in aspects of solar, geothermal? Again, there's a lot of different components to green. So for us, it's key to try and understand how they want to integrate those into the design and what will be important. Again, with this group, we started to look at, will we even be using the word green down the line, or are we really heading towards something that's a little bit more mainstream friendly? Is it really smart building? Is it better building? I don't know where that definition will go. But I know in my discussions, we try and talk a little bit more general again about the building performance, energy efficiency are some of the more key words that we're using and thinking of as we're designing. Again, there's a lot of discussion, and I think that's the most critical thing to green building is whether you're out looking for just independent materials or products or whether you're building a whole home, is to, again, really figure out and incorporate the strategy of green building, either whether it's starting with a design professional or through any of the tradespeoples as you go through. In terms of consumer and client preferences, what are we seeing out there? Well, building performance and energy efficiency are the two biggest things that we see, and we discuss with people right from the beginning. They may be coming from an older home and have things that they bring up as negative experiences, whether I'm tired of forced hot air systems, they're not comfortable in my home, I want to look at something new and better. Of course, the aspects of insulation. We're making a transition now from bad insulation into spray foams and other things where we're kind of going through a better transformation in terms of the building science of buildings. For lack of better words, I find sometimes I'm apologizing to some clients saying for the last 20 years we really haven't been getting it right. And we're having to go back to thinking better about how to put buildings together and not just use the cheapest, most available products. Solar, electric, hot water, again, things like that, Energy Star appliances, and again, the materials and products, which some of the others will talk about, are some of the key things. So that's kind of a quick overview from our perspective, and I'll jump on to Karen.
Everybody wants to be the moderator.